just got to our Airbnb in Seoul and it's so nice. So here's the kitchen, living room area. Here's bedroom number 1. We don't need 2 bedrooms, but it has 2 bedrooms. And then here is bedroom number 2. And then this is the bathroom. Which one's the light? Where's the light? Bathroom. Oh wow, it's just like out here. What's this? Oh, so this is the shower, just like this? Yeah. Okay. It'll be perfect. It's like exactly what we need. Yeah. It's only 3 days. Doesn't always happen, but when I do get to like fully unpack in a hotel room, it just feels so nice. Like this vanity is like what I want in my home, but I don't have any space for it in my Hong Kong flat. But I really want one. Also my face in Korea, I think I'm like not used to how cold it is, and also like the wind is really cold and my skin feels like the driest it's been like since 2 years ago when I was still living in London. Banana, banana. probably went to over a dozen secondhand thrift stores, vintage stores during my trip in Korea, and this shop was definitely by far my favorite. I saw this one skirt in the corner of my eye. It was this mini skirt with a detachable pocket that you could wear inside out. It was like a wrap skirt, and I immediately had to try it on. And I feel like when you go to a secondhand store, especially as like, you know, a petite lady like me, if something fits you, it just like, it's meant to be. It was screaming, buy me. Walked around like the Seongsu area, which we heard good things about, but it wasn't really our vibe. It was like a bit too much just like regular old shopping. I didn't come all the way to Seoul to go to like an ASOS, you know? So now we're going to a different area, and hopefully it'll be cool. We also went to an art museum, which I didn't take any pictures of because it was actually a really bad exhibit. Got a pair of sunglasses from the brand Blue Elephant. Apparently it's made by the same people, like the same factories that make Gentle Monsters, which are like a famous Korean brand. Are they nice?
They're lovely. They look really good.
트윈베드로 더블베드로 하면
That's so delicious.
두개 중에 좀 고민되게 진짜 맛있어. 네. 아 너가 좋아하는 맛인데 너가 좋아하는
I'm about to go get my hair cut, and what I want it to look like, hopefully, something like this. This vibe. I've always wanted to get my hair permed because my Asian hair just likes to sit like straight flat with like no texture. So while I was in Seoul, I booked an appointment at this salon and I had such a good experience. They were really experienced with foreigners coming in. So I just came in, showed them the pictures from my Pinterest board, and then they advised me to get a cold perm, which is a little bit less maintenance than a digital perm. The whole process took around 3 hours, and they just made sure I was really comfortable the whole time with like snacks and drinks, and it cost around 120 USD or 130 pounds. That lady just ate my hair up so good. I literally look like a different person. It is exactly what I wanted. I mean, come on. The back. Unreal. Unreal. I'm like...
중학교 때는 그 랩탑 사용 시간 있어. 그리고 애들은 영어에 대해서 별로 재미없어.
We are waiting for the bus. We're gonna head back to the area where our Airbnb is for our final night. Walk around, go to a coffee shop, find a nice Korean barbecue restaurant. And that's our plan for our last night in Seoul. This particular Korean barbecue was so good that it deserves a voiceover. So we waited in line via an app for basically an hour to get a spot, and we just randomly passed by this restaurant and saw a lot of people lining up, so we were like, oh, okay, it's probably good. Most of the time, Korean barbecue restaurants will specialize in different types of meat. This was a pork Korean barbecue, and they specialized in dry-aged pork, which I've never had before. I've had dried-aged beef, but never dry-aged pork. The meat was so tender, and they would cook it for you and dip it in all these different sauces that they made themselves, and it was absolutely delicious. In this shot right here, they're dipping it in that brown sauce and then that panko right next to it, and I've never had like Korean barbecue where the meat was cooked and then dipped in panko, and it was surprisingly so delicious. Again, never had anything quite like it. You can see that this waiter is going from one table to the next to the other. He knows exactly what he's doing and the timing of cooking the meat. There was definitely a difference of him cooking the meat versus us. I always feel like I have to finish a meal with some type of carb, and so of course I ordered the cold noodle. This was a cold buckwheat, almost like soba noodle, in a really clear broth with perilla oil, and it was like super fragrant, super refreshing, and it felt so nice to like finish with something refreshing after all of that barbecued meat.